The first thing I notice is the sound. Not his voice, not the words, not even the way the chair scrapes against the tile. It's the pause before he speaks. A thin, stretched silence that feels like something being pulled too tight, like a wire humming just before it snaps. It vibrates in the air between us, invisible but unbearable, threading through my ribs, tightening around my lungs. I don't look up immediately. If I look too soon, it will mean I'm ready. And I'm not. My fingers rest on the edge of the table, lightly at first, then pressing harder without me realizing. The wood is smooth, worn down by years of use, faint grooves beneath the polish. I follow one of them with my thumb, tracing it again and again, as if the repetition might anchor me, might keep the moment from tipping forward. It doesn't. You're still here, his voice lands flat. Not loud, not sharp, just heavy, like it's been sitting somewhere for a long time, waiting. I inhale slow enough that it doesn't look like hesitation, but it is hesitation. The air feels thicker than it should, slightly warm, slightly stale, like the room has been holding its breath too. I live here. The words come out quieter than I intended. Too soft, too careful. I hear it the second it leaves my mouth. That thin thread of defensiveness wrapped inside neutrality. I hate that he can probably hear it too. He always hears the parts I don't mean to say. Another pause. Longer this time. I can feel his eyes on me, even without looking. Not scanning. Not searching. Measuring. There's a difference. Scanning means curiosity. Measuring means conclusion. When I finally lift my gaze, he's exactly where I expected. Standing near the doorway, one hand resting against the frame, fingers slightly curled as if he forgot what he was doing with them. His posture is relaxed in the way that isn't actually relaxed at all. Every part of him looks placed, deliberate, like he's holding still on purpose. Like he's waiting for something to confirm itself. You've been here a while, it isn't a question. I nod anyway, a reflex, a mistake. Because nodding adds something. It gives weight to his statement, solidifies it, turns it into agreement instead of observation. I shouldn't have done that. I feel it immediately, the subtle shift in the air, like a scale tipping by a fraction. I thought you said you were. Looking, the way he says looking, carries something under it. Not quite doubt, not quite accusation, something softer, which somehow feels worse. I swallow after I speak, not before. Too late. It makes the word sound dry, incomplete. He tilts his head slightly. Not enough to be obvious, but enough that I notice. He's cataloging. Always cataloging. How long, there it is. Simple. Clean. Impossible to answer without exposing something. I could say a number, a week, a month. Longer. But numbers are dangerous. Numbers invite follow-ups. Numbers can be checked, tested, broken apart. So I don't answer immediately. Which is also an answer. I don't know, that's worse. I hear it as soon as I say it. The vagueness, the softness, the lack of structure. It sounds like avoidance. It sounds like weakness. It sounds like his exhale cuts through my thoughts. Not loud, not exaggerated, just there. And somehow that's enough. You don't know. He repeats it, but not like he's questioning me. More like he's placing the words somewhere specific in his mind, assigning them a category. I feel my fingers press harder into the table again. The groove under my thumb feels deeper now, sharper. Or maybe I'm just pushing harder. I've been trying. I don't know why I add that. It slips out before I can stop it. Trying to fix the previous answer. Trying to make it sound less empty. Trying to, he smiles. Not fully. Just a slight movement at the corner of his mouth. It's worse than if he had frowned. Trying, he says it like it's a foreign word. Like it doesn't quite belong in the sentence. Something tightens in my chest. I have interviews, that part is true. Technically, fragments of truth are easier to carry. They don't weigh as much as full lies, but they still give you something to hold on to. When immediate, too immediate, I feel it like a small jolt. Soon another mistake. Too vague again. His eyes narrow just slightly. Not suspicious, not angry, focused, where the room feels smaller. Or maybe it's just that I'm noticing the walls now. The way they seem closer than before. The faint discoloration near the corners. The hairline crack above the doorway behind him. I should answer. I know I should. But my mind is stalling. Not empty, not blank, just crowded. Too many possible answers. Too many ways each answer could collapse under the next question. So I hesitate, just for a second, but it's enough. He steps forward. One step, that's all. But it changes everything. Distance matters. Space is control. And he just took some of it away. You don't have to lie, his voice softens. That's the worst part, because softness implies understanding, and understanding implies that he already knows. I'm not. The words come out sharper than I intended. Defensive. Too fast. I regret it instantly. There's a flicker in his expression, quick, almost imperceptible. But I see it, and I feel it. Then say it. Now his tone is calm. Completely calm, which makes it feel like a trap. My throat tightens. The answer is simple. It should be simple. Just say a place. Any place. But my mind keeps circling back to something else. Something I didn't expect to matter. He thinks I'm broke. The thought lands slowly, like it's been drifting toward me this whole time and only just now decided to settle. It's obvious in retrospect, the questions, the tone, the assumptions sitting quietly behind everything he says. He thinks I've failed, that I'm still here because I have nowhere else to go, because I can't leave, because I don't have the money to. My fingers stop moving, completely still now, and something shifts, not in the room, in me. It's subtle at first, a small crack in the pressure, a thin line of something else, not relief, not exactly, more like distance, like I've stepped half an inch outside of the moment, and I'm looking at it from the side. He's still watching me, still waiting, but now there's something between us that wasn't there before. A gap, a miscalculation. I don't need to tell you. The words come out slower this time. Measured, deliberate. His expression changes. Not dramatically, just enough. A slight tightening around his eyes. A pause. You don't need to. He repeats it carefully, like he's testing the shape of the sentence. I nod. This time intentionally. Yes, silence. Thicker now. Different. He studies me. Not measuring anymore. Reevaluating. And I can feel it, that shift in his perception, small but undeniable. Like something he thought was stable, just moved slightly out of place. Since when? There's something under the question now. Not just curiosity. Something sharper. I lean back slightly in the chair. The wood creaks under my weight. The sound echoes a little too loudly in the room. I'm not a kid, it's not an answer. But it redirects. Or tries to. His jaw tightens. Just for a second. I didn't say you were. No. You didn't. Another pause. This one feels unstable. Like the ground beneath it isn't solid. I said I don't need to tell you. I repeat it softer this time. Not pushing. Just placing it there again. Letting it exist. His eyes flick down briefly. To my hands maybe, then back up. A small movement. But I notice everything now. Every shift. Every breath. Every silence. You're living in my house. There it is, the anchor. The thing he's been holding onto this entire time. I expected it. Still, it lands heavier than I thought it would. I know my voice is steady. Too steady. Almost detached. And that's when I feel it. A flicker of something inside me. Not fear. Not exactly. More like a quiet, creeping awareness. That this isn't just a conversation anymore. It's something else. Something layered. Something off. Because the more he talks, the more I realize he doesn't know. Not really. Not about the money. Not about where it comes from. Not about why I'm still here. And that realization doesn't feel like relief. It feels like pressure. Different pressure. He thinks I'm trapped, but he doesn't realize I might be the only one who isn't. Or maybe. Maybe I just don't know what I'm trapped in yet. My fingers twitch slightly on the table. A small movement. Unintentional. But it draws his attention again. Of course it does. You've been quiet lately. The shift in topic is subtle. But deliberate. I don't answer right away. Because I'm trying to figure out if it's actually a shift. Or if it's just another way of circling the same thing. I've been busy. That word again. Busy. It sounds wrong as soon as I say it. Too broad. Too convenient. His lips press together slightly. Doing what? There it is, the loop. We're back, but it feels different now. He's asking the same questions, but I'm not answering them the same way. And that unsettles him. I can see it, in the way his posture shifts, in the way his eyes linger a little longer, in the way the silence stretches just a fraction too far. I could tell him. I could explain everything. Lay it out clean, simple, undeniable. Where the money comes from. Why I don't need a job. Why I'm still here. But the thought of doing that feels wrong. Not dangerous. Not exactly. Just wrong. Like saying it out loud would change something. Break something. Or worse, confirm something I haven't fully understood yet. So instead, I do the only thing that feels possible. I let the silence sit. I let it grow. I let it press against both of us until it becomes its own kind of answer. And in that silence, something begins to shift. Not visibly, not clearly, but enough that I feel it. A slow, creeping distortion. Like the edges of the room are bending inward. Like the air is getting thicker. Like something beneath the surface is starting to move. And for the first time, I'm not sure if I'm controlling it, or if it's controlling me. The silence doesn't break, it spreads. Not outward, no. That would suggest escape, expansion, some kind of release. This silence folds inward, layers over itself, thickening until it feels textured, almost physical. I can feel it against my skin, like humidity without warmth, like standing inside something that's quietly closing around me. He doesn't move. I don't either. And yet something is shifting. It starts small, so small I almost mistake it for imagination. My breathing, not the act itself, but the awareness of it. Each inhale feels slightly delayed, like my body is waiting for permission that doesn't come from me. Each exhale feels monitored, observed, as if the room itself is keeping count, measuring rhythm, tracking irregularities. I swallow. The sound is too loud. It echoes not in the room, but in my head, bouncing strangely, like the inside of my skull isn't shaped the same way it was a moment ago. He notices. Of course he notices. His eyes flicker quick, precise, and lock onto my face again, searching, recalibrating. You're thinking too much. The words are soft, almost gentle, but they land wrong. They land like something being placed inside me. Not a statement, a suggestion, a seed. My immediate instinct is to reject it. I'm not, but even as I say it, something in me hesitates. Because I am thinking. Too much, too fast, too many layers at once. Thoughts folding over thoughts, looping back, correcting themselves, contradicting. No. No, that's normal. That's just my fingers twitch again. The table feels different now. Colder, or maybe my hands are warmer. I can't tell. I press my palm flat against the surface. Grounding, testing, it feels slightly uneven. That's not right. This table has always been smooth. I know it has. I've traced the same grooves, the same worn patterns for years. I know the shape of it. So why look at me? His voice cuts in sharper now. Not loud, but direct. My head lifts automatically. Too quickly. The movement feels disconnected, like it wasn't entirely my decision. Our eyes meet, and something slips. It's subtle, a fraction of a second, but I feel it, like missing a step in the dark. His expression hasn't changed much, still controlled, still measured, but there's something new beneath it, something I can't quite hold on to. You're avoiding, he says it plainly, no accusation. Just placement, like he's arranging pieces on a board I didn't realize we were playing on. I already told you, you didn't. The interruption is immediate. Clean, precise. It slices through my sentence before it can fully form, leaving the rest of my words hanging in the air like fragments that don't know where to land. I asked you what you've been doing. His voice lowers slightly. You didn't answer. I feel something tighten behind my eyes. Not pain, pressure, like something is pushing outward from inside, trying to expand. I said I've been busy. That's not an answer. His tone doesn't change. The words feel heavier this time. More anchored. Busy doing what? There it is again, the loop. But it feels tighter now. Smaller, like the space between question and answer is shrinking. Compressing, leaving less room to move, less room to think. I open my mouth. Close it. The answer is there. Somewhere. I can feel it like a word on the tip of my tongue, just out of reach. Money. That's what this is about, the money. Where it comes from. Why I don't need a flicker, a glitch. Not in the room, in me. The thought stutters. Repeats. Where it comes from. Where it comes from. Where it my breath catches. Something's wrong. Not with the question. Not with him. With the answer. I've always known. Haven't I? It was never complicated. It was. My fingers press harder into the table. Too hard. My knuckles whiten, tendons tightening, skin stretching uncomfortably over bone. I can't remember. Not clearly. Not cleanly. There are fragments. Images. Numbers on a screen. Transfers. Notifications. The quiet glow of my phone in the dark. Money appearing. Always enough. Always. There. But the source, it slipped. Every time I reach for it, it shifts slightly out of alignment, like trying to focus on something just beyond the edge of vision. You don't know, his voice is softer now, but it lands harder, because it mirrors something inside me. A thought I didn't want to fully form. I do too fast, too sharp. It comes out like a reflex, like something trying to defend itself before it understands what it's defending against. His eyes narrow, not aggressively, carefully. Then say it, the room feels. Smaller, again, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm folding inward, compressing, collapsing into a space that isn't big enough to hold everything happening at once. Say it. Just say it. It's simple. It's just my throat tightens. The word won't come, because there isn't just one word. There isn't even a clear sentence. There are pieces, disconnected, unstable, like someone took the explanation and moved parts of it, just slightly, enough that it doesn't fit together anymore. My voice falters, a small crack, barely audible, but it's there, and he hears it. Of course he does. He takes another step forward. Close now, too close. I can see the fine lines around his eyes, the slight tension in his jaw, the way his breathing remains steady, controlled, in contrast to mine. You don't know, he repeats it. Not as a question, as a conclusion. Something in my chest drops. Not suddenly, slowly, like an elevator descending one floor too far. That's not, then explain it. The interruption is sharper this time. Less gentle, less patient. The pressure spikes. Anticipation, right arrow discomfort, right arrow pressure. No release. Just deeper. My head feels wrong, heavy, but also hollow, like something has been removed, or never fully placed there to begin with. I had an answer. I know I did. I've been living it, using it, depending on it. So why can't I? A memory flickers. Late at night, the glow of the screen, a number increasing, a message I didn't fully read, or couldn't. The text was strange, not unreadable, just difficult to hold, like it changed slightly every time I looked at it. I blinked. The memory distorts, fades. Where is it coming from? His voice is quieter now, but there's something underneath it. Not just pressure, something closer to concern, or maybe control disguised as concern. Nothing. The word dissolves before it can form. My mouth is open, but there's no sound, no answer. Just space, empty, echoing space where something should be. And that's when it hits. Not all at once, not dramatically, just a slow, creeping realization. I don't know. Not really. Not completely. I know that it comes. I know it's there. But the how, the why there. Missing. Or worse, they were never there. My hands start to tremble. Slightly. Barely visible. But I feel it, fine vibrations under the skin, like something trying to surface. That's impossible. The words slip out under my breath. Not meant for him. More like a thought that escaped containment. What is? He leans in slightly. Listening. Too closely. I know where it comes from. I say it again. But it sounds different now. Thinner. Less certain. Like a statement that's already starting to collapse under its own weight. Then why can't you say it? Silence, no answer. Because I can't. because every time I try, something shifts. Something moves inside my head, like the information is there, but it refuses to stay still long enough to be used. My breathing becomes uneven, shallow, too fast. The room tilts, not physically, but perceptually. Angles feel off. Distances distort. The doorway behind him seems farther away than it should be. Or maybe he's closer than he was. I can't tell. I've seen your accounts. The words cut through everything. Clean, precise, and for a second, everything stops. My breaths, my thoughts, the subtle distortions, all of it. What? My voice is barely a whisper, but it sounds too loud in my own ears. Too sharp, too real. His expression doesn't change. I had to pause. You weren't answering. My heart stutters. Not faster. Just wrong. Offbeat. What do you mean? You've seen them. The question feels fragile. Like it might break if I push too hard. He studies me. Carefully. There's no source. The words land slowly. Each one separate. Heavy. There are deposits. A beat. Regular. Another beat. Consistent. My stomach tightens. Cold. But there's no origin. The silence that follows is different. Not thick. Not oppressive. Just empty. Like something has been removed from the room entirely. That's not possible. I shake my head. Small movements. Automatic. It has to come from somewhere. I thought so too. His voice is quieter now. Less controlled. More uncertain. And that's worse. Because if he's uncertain, then what's left? I checked everything. A pause. Multiple times. Each word presses deeper. There's nothing. The tremor in my hand spreads. Up my arms. Into my chest. A subtle vibration that feels like it's coming from inside my bone. No, I whisper it. Not to him. To the space between thoughts. To the part of me that's starting to understand something I don't want to understand. No, that's I stop. Because something else is surfacing. A memory or something like a memory. Not clear. Not stable. Just fragments. The screen again. The numbers, a message. Always the same message. But I can't remember the exact words. Just the feeling. A quiet, almost comforting presence. Like something watching. Not threatening. Just there. And then a phrase. Half-formed. Slipping through the cracks. As long as you don't. I freeze. The rest is gone. Just gone. Like it was never there. Or like something removed it the moment I got too close. Don't what? I murmur. The question escapes before I can stop it. He frowns. What? But I'm not looking at him anymore. I'm looking through him. At something that isn't visible. Something just beyond the surface of everything. The room feels wrong. Not distorted. Not exactly. Just slightly misaligned. Like reality has shifted a few degrees off-center. And I'm the only one who can feel it. Or maybe I'm the only one it's affecting. My phone. The thought hits suddenly. Sharp. Urgent. I reach for it. Too quickly. My hand nearly misses. Fingers brushing the edge before I grip it properly. The screen lights up. Too bright. Too immediate. The familiar interface feels unfamiliar. Like I'm seeing it for the first time. Or the last. I open the banking app. My breath catches. The numbers are there. Of course they are. More than enough. Always more than enough. But now I'm looking at them differently. Not as confirmation, as evidence. Of something I don't understand. I tap on the latest transaction. My finger hesitates just before contact. A tiny pause. A fraction of a second. But it feels significant. Like crossing a line I didn't know existed. Then I tap. The details open. And for a moment, everything is normal. Date. Amount. Status. Clean. Simple. Ordinary. And then it shifts. Not visually. Not obviously. But I feel it, the text. The line where the source should be. It's there. But it's unstable. Like trying to read something underwater. The letters blur. Reform. Blur again. I blink. Hard. Focus. The words almost settle. Almost become readable. And then they change. not into something else, into nothing. A blank space, where something should be. My chest tightens. That's not. I whisper. My voice sounds distant, like it's coming from somewhere else. I scroll. More transactions. Same thing. Every time. The source line exists until I look directly at it. Then it disappears. Not erased. Not deleted. Just inaccessible. Like it doesn't want to be seen. Like it can't be seen. My hands start shaking harder. The phone trembles slightly in my grip. This isn't real. I say it, but it doesn't feel convincing. Not even to me. Because it is real. The money is real. The account is real. Everything functions. Everything works. Except the part that explains it. And that's when the final piece slides into place. Not neatly. Not cleanly. Just enough. As long as you don't. Don't what? Don't ask. Don't look. Don't. My breath stops. The realization doesn't feel like a thought. It feels like something being uncovered. Something that was always there. Buried just deep enough to avoid attention. As long as you don't try to understand it. My vision narrows. Not darkness. Just focus. Sharp. Too sharp. The edges of everything become defined, almost painfully clear. The table. My hands, the phone. Him. Watching me. Waiting. You found it. His voice is quiet. Careful. I look up slowly. The movement feels delayed. Like there's a slight gap between intention and execution. No, I shake my head. Small. Controlled. I didn't find anything, but that's not true. I found something. Just not something I can explain, or control, or stop. Because now that I've seen it, or tried to, something has changed. Inside me. Around me. I can feel it. A subtle shift. Like the rules have adjusted. Like something that was passive is now aware. The air feels heavier again. But different from before. Less oppressive. More attentive. As if the room itself is listening. Watching. My phone screen flickers. Once. Twice. Then stabilizes. A new notification appears. I didn't open anything. I didn't do anything. But it's there. My heart stutters again. I stare at it. Not opening. Not touching. Just looking. The text is simple. Clear. Unmistakable. And for the first time, perfectly readable. You weren't supposed to look. My fingers go numb. A slow, creeping loss of sensation that starts at the tips and spreads inward. My breathing becomes shallow again. Controlled. Forced. Like I'm trying to stay quiet. Even though there's no reason to. Even though I glance up. He's still there. Still watching. But something about him feels distant. Less immediate. Less important. Because the center of the room has shifted. It's not him anymore. It's this. Whatever this is. You're pale, he says it carefully. Concern again or control. I can't tell anymore. It's nothing, the lie comes easily. Too easily. Because compared to what's happening inside my head, it is nothing. Or maybe it's everything. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. Except the money will keep coming. As long as I don't look. I don't ask. I don't try to understand. And I already have. The notification remains on the screen. Unchanging. Waiting. My thumb hovers over it. Not touching. Just there. Suspended. Like everything else, the room, the silence. My thoughts. All of it caught in a moment that refuses to move forward. Because something has fundamentally shifted. Not resolved. Not finished. Just changed. And I have the distinct, suffocating sense that whatever was giving me that money was never helping me. It was keeping me still. And now I've moved. Just enough to be noticed. The silence deepens again. But this time, it doesn't feel empty. It feels occupied.